I know so many of you, like myself, have dreams, have goals, have ambitions, have aspirations. And at times, you are just in your way because you feel with doubt, you feel with anxiety, you feel with fear. And it reminds me, I'm watching right now The House of David. It's on the Amazon video. I don't even know what the platform is called, but it's talking about the life of David, from him starting as just a shepherd to becoming a king. And just watching it, same difference. You see, David was treated differently because he was an he was an illegitimate child, right? His mother was not married to his father, and he was the youngest. So all the other boys that come from the same mother, right, through marriage, but David wasn't. And because of this, David was treated differently. His brothers didn't really call him brother. His dad treated him like with shame, and David stayed in the field with the sheep. His mother was killed by a lion in this film. I'm not sure. I have to really go back and reread the Book of Kings to see how, if that was in the Bible, if that was added, or if it even says. But David, he had to live life with the spirit of boldness, of courageousness. Even though he was smaller than everybody, he's smaller than everybody, right? There was nothing significant about him. He was a poet. He can play the music. But other than that, as a man, you would look at him as less than, right? You wouldn't look at him as a protector. You wouldn't look at him as a provider. And a lion came and was tormenting his sheep, trying to kill his sheep. And his little sister was afraid. And he went boldly and courageously and confidently to slay this lion. And I think that it's something for us to learn from the story of David. How no matter what life looked like, no matter what people said he was, he still knew who God called him to be. He knew that he was meant for more. And he walked in that with confidence, with boldness, right? Boldness is the ability to take action without fear. In your life, you don't really know how things are going to go. You don't know if that business idea is going to succeed. You don't know if that relationship is going to succeed. You don't know so many things. Every day you live in uncertainty. But to still be bold and move with the confidence, with the belief that God has laid this path for you, so nothing can truly happen to me because I am in God's will. And when I get to the end of this, it will be because I fulfill God's plan for myself, right? It would be because of my obedience. There's so many things that we try to run away from or make excuses about, or whatever the case may be. And if there's anything that you can make an excuse about and run away from, is killing a lion. He didn't have a gun or anything like that, modern devices for us to be able to do that, right? It can make it a lot easier. No, he didn't have that. And I still think, like, man, just to have the obedience and the boldness to step into that anyway, to me, is just extremely impressive. And it just resonate with the character of David. It just resonate with his story. And it just reminds me of all the things in my life that I can be filled with doubt or anxiety or fear about. To just remember, like, this little shepherd who walked with boldness, who walked with in obedience to what God had for him. No matter what anybody thought. Even when he was anointed to be king, there's still people saying, don't tell anybody this. That Samuel is old. Samuel is wrong. Samuel doesn't know what he's talking about. And he said, no, I know who God says I am. He wasn't looking for the approval for anybody. He wasn't looking for anybody to validate his idea, validate his journey, validate his calling. He just believed and he moved with boldness. And I want you guys to do the same thing in life, as I'm learning and learning this as well. To move with boldness. Know what God put in your heart. Know what God has called you to do, what he has called you to be, and be obedient. And to be obedient requires boldness. It requires you to move without fear. Have faith. Know that God has a plan for you, and trust it. You just have to trust it. So I want to call this to be more like David. Be bold like David. And see where life gets you. See where God takes you for your obedience and for your boldness.